Hey guys, we're going to review the math task from week 3 of your distance learning packet. It was titled Cookie Monster. So I'm going to read the task to you, and then I'm going to change my camera so you can see me working on the task the way that you had it in your packet. And you can go ahead and correct, edit, revise any of the work that you did, or if you got it all right, then awesome. You got confirmed that you got it all right. And remember, with math tasks and sometimes with some story problems, there are more than one correct answer. As long as that you showed all your work, you could explain it to somebody and you can prove it, then you are probably right. So if you are in my class and you want to double check something, if it was different than what I did, you can always contact me in my office hours or in our Google Meetings or in our Google Classroom, and I can help you out there. All right, so Cookie Monster. First of all, do you guys know who the Cookie Monster is? Do any of you remember who Cookie Monster was? Did you say a character from Sesame Street? Because if so, then you are right. He is that blue character from Sesame Street who all he wants to do is eat a whole bunch of cookies. And how many of you have felt that way too? You've baked a sheet of cookies or a couple dozens of cookies with your family, and you want to eat all of them. Me, I like to eat the cookie dough first. That's the best part. But besides that, we're dealing with Cookie Monster today. And he actually has a problem kind of like what I said. Like, you want to sit and you want to eat all of those cookies. But he doesn't want to end up eating all the cookies this time. He wants to share with his friends, and he needs your help on how to do that. So here's our story, here's our problem, and as mathematicians, we need to help solve it for Cookie Monster. So our problem says, Cookie Monster is baking cookies and wants to give some cookies away so that he can stop eating them all. He plans to share the cookies with his friends. He needs your help and baking and putting them in bags. So let's look at part A. Part A says, number 1 of part A. So that tells me there's possibly more than one part or one number to our part A portion. And it says, when Cookie Monster bakes his cookies, he puts them in the sheet in neat rows and columns. Now, I've not even finished reading number 1, but my brain is already starting to think about some math strategies that I learned back in class. And when my teacher would talk to me about rows and columns, she was usually talking to me about arrays. Now, I'm thinking even more about what an array meant. And when we were talking about arrays in my classroom, that was a strategy we used for multiplication. So in my head as a mathematician right now, I'm starting to think I am going to possibly be multiplying in this story problem. Just because I already heard the words rows and columns, that reminds me of arrays, and arrays are a multiplication strategy. So my brain is starting to get ready. I might be doing that. I might not. I need to finish reading the problem. So it says, what are 2 different ways that Cookie Monster could arrange, that means organize, his cookies on the cookie sheet if each sheet holds 12 cookies, or a dozen. When we use the phrase a dozen, we are talking about 12, the quantity or the amount of 12. Draw the cookie sheets. So this is what I would do. Right now I'm going to pull the camera down so you can see my work and you can check your own work. And there is my paper. And I am going to do it like this. And I'm going to draw 2 rectangles because I have to show 2 different ways. So here's one cookie sheet, and then here is a second cookie sheet. And I need to do rows and columns, and I have to have 12 on here. So I know that I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to show you what I did. It's not perfect, but you can see that I have 1, 2 columns, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. And when I count them all up, I have 12 cookies on this sheet, or a dozen cookies. Now, that's one way I can arrange the cookies on a cookie sheet. He wants to have 2 ways to arrange the cookies on a cookie sheet. So I need to do rows and columns. So another way I think I could do this is I remember my multiplication facts, and I know that 3 times 4 equals 12. So I'm going to write that down here, and I'm going to say 3 multiplied by 4 equals 12. So I'm going to do 3 rows and 4 columns. Now, I just labeled it for myself so that I can draw it easily. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Those are my rows. They're going to go this way. And then I'm going to do my columns. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to fill in the rest of my array. And if I am a little unsure of what I did, I would just count it up by ones to make sure that I really do have 12 here. I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I really have 12. So here's 2 examples of how you could have arranged the cookies in 2 different arrays on the trays, showing your 1 dozen. Because this one has 1, 2 rows, or 2 columns. So if I write my multiplication, sentence is the same. And there were 6 rows, and that is also 12. Okay. So that's one idea. Like I said, there are multiple ways you could have done it. You could have used some repeated subtraction. You could have just drawn the arrays, counted up by 1 to get to 12, to double check yourself. So number 2 says, Cookie Monster baked 4 dozen cookies. There are 12 cookies in a dozen. Figure out how many cookies he baked. Explain how you found your answer using pictures, number sentences, and or words. So you can do lots of things here to explain your work. So what I'm going to do here, I have 4 dozen cookies, and each dozen has 12. So I'm going to do groups. So I'm going to draw 4 groups. That's 1 dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen, 4 dozen. And I know that each dozen has 12. So I'm going to put the number 12 in it. You could have also sat and drawn 12 cookies if you wanted to, but I want to represent my 12 using a number form because it is a little bit more of an efficient strategy. If I have to know how many there are all together, I can add all of these 12s up. So I'm going to just start adding. I know that 12 plus 12 is 24. Then I'm going to add up over here and say 12 plus 12 is 24. Now I have to add these 2 sums together to find out my overall sum. I'm going to think of ones place first. I have 4 plus 4 is 8. And then I'm going to go over to the tens place. 20 plus 20 is 40. So he made a total of 48 cookies. All right. So now let's go on to the next part of the task. And this is part B. It's called bagging. So we want to know, how does he bag these cookies? So let's read it together. It says, Cookie Monster wants to share some cookies with his friends. So he put them into small bags. If he baked 2 dozen cookies and has 8 bags, how many cookies will go into each bag? Explain how you found your answer using pictures, number sentences, and or words. Okay. So first of all, I need to find out what 2 dozen is. Well, I know that a dozen is 12, and I have 2 of those. So I'm going to stick with my repeated addition strategy, and I'm going to say 12 plus 12 equals, and this is 1 dozen, 2 dozen, okay? And I know that 12 plus 12 is 24. So I have a total of 24 cookies. I have that part of this question solved. Now I have to figure out the 8 bags. I have to take 24 cookies and share it out to 8 bags. Now, some of us who know some more efficient strategies or what it means to share out, we might automatically start thinking, oh, I'm gonna divide. So some of you might wanna even write this number sentence down, 24 divided by 8 equals. That's gonna tell you how many are in each bag. Some of you know the number sentence, but you actually need to draw to figure it out because you don't know what 24 divided by 8 is just by memory or heart or however you want to say it. So I'm going to draw the 8 bags, and I'm going to just draw myself some rectangles, and those are my bags. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I have to take the 24 cookies. Some of us are just going to want to just start counting them out, and that's not a bad strategy. It works. You're sharing them out. So then I'm going to just start counting, and I'm going to do tally marks for myself in the bags. Each tally mark is going to be 1 cookie. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I've passed out all my cookies. Each of my bags has 3 cookies. So each bag will get 3 cookies. So those are the strategies I used. There are other strategies for division that you could have used to share out. You could have taken the 24 and subtracted 8, then subtracted 8 again, then subtracted 8 again, and that would have told you you had 3 groups of 8 that each bag got 3 cookies. Okay, that's another strategy that you could use for division or sharing out of the cookies. Let's move on to number 4. Number 4 says, if Cookie Monster baked 72 cookies and packed 8 in each bag, how many bags would he need? Explain how you found your answer using pictures, numbers, sentences, and or words. Well, each bag has 8, and I need to find out how many packages he made, and I'm going to have to stop when I get to the number 72. I think I'm going to just start adding up until I get to 72, or for those of us who are more efficient, you could think 72 divided by 8 equals, and then that will tell us how many bags they ended up doing. Others of us who need to use some more strategies to show our work, we might want to just start going 8 plus 8 equals 16. And I would label this and I'd say this is bag 1, this is bag 2. I'm not to 72 yet, so I need to keep going. So I'm gonna go, I have 16 and I'm gonna add 8 more. Now, because I know my 8s or I know how to count up by 8, I'm not gonna show adding strategies right now. I'm gonna just speak it out. So 16 plus 8 is 24. So that's 1 bag, 2 bag, 3 bags, and I'm only at 24. I need to get to the number 72. I'm going to keep on going. So I'm going to add up. I'm going to go 24 plus 8 equals 32. Still not enough. 32 plus 8 equals 40. Still not enough. 40 plus 8 equals 48. Oh my goodness, I got to keep on going. So now I have 48 plus 8 equals 56. I'm getting closer. So now I'm going to say 56 plus 8 equals 64. Still not there. Hopefully this next time. 64 plus 8 equals 72. Whew. Now I need to go through and count my 8s. Each 8 represents the bags, how many bags he made. I started labeling and then I stopped because I just was more like, I want to get to 72 and then I'll go back and count. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to show you my work like this. Here we go. And I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He was able to make 9 bags of 8 cookies each. Okay, so he was able to make 9 bags. Let's go on to part C. Part C is going to end up being one that has a lot of correct answers to it. And so here we go. It says, Cookie Monster wants to sell his cookies at Sesame Street Bake Sale. He will bake cookies and put them into bags to sell to his customers. He needs some help with how to do this. Use the following information to answer Cookie Monster's questions. 12 cookies fit on a sheet. He has enough batter to make 60 cookies. Each bag must have an equal share of cookies and have more than one cookie in it, and each bag will cost $2. So question 5, how many cookie sheets will Cookie Monster need? Well, each sheet holds 12. So I'm going to draw a sheet. That's a rectangle, and it has 12. I'm going to draw another sheet, and that's 12. So 12 and 12 is 24. We've done that before. I'm going to keep on going because that's not enough. I have to have 60. Here's another sheet of 12. And over here, I might need to do some math and go, what's 24 plus 12? Think of my ones, 4 and 2 is 6. 20 and 10 is 30. So now I'm at 36. Still not at 60. I'm going to keep on going. 12. So now I'm going to add another group of 12. That's 48. Still not enough. I'm going to keep going. 12. I'm at 48 cookies. If I give myself 12 more, I'm going to think 40 plus 10 equals 50, and 8 plus 2 equals 10. 50 plus 10 equals 60. Yes, I got there. So now I'm going to count how many trays did I need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We needed 5 trays of cookies to make all 60 cookies. So now I'm going to come down to number 6. Number 6 says, give Cookie Monster 3 options for putting the cookies in bags. So I was told that I need to put the cookies into bags, and I know that there are 60 cookies. So I have to get up to 60 somehow. I know that, if I let's try putting 10 cookies in each bag. So I'm going to say I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I counted up by 10 because there's 10 cookies in each bag. I have a total of 60 cookies. Each 10 represents one bag. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags, and each bag has 10 cookies. I could steal an idea from something I already did. If I put 12 cookies in a bag, I would end up with 5 bags because that's how I baked them. That would work too. So if I have 5 bags, there would be 12 cookies in a bag. So now I have to stop and think, what's another way I could get myself to the number 60? Let's think. If I did 3 cookies in a bag, how many bags would I have? So I could count up by 3s and try that. So I'm going to say 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Well, wait a minute. I know that 30 is half of 60. If I'm halfway there, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So far, I've made 10 bags, and I'm halfway there. Well, if I double that, I would get to 20. I think it's going to take me 20 bags if I put 3 in each bag, but I'm going to double check. So I'm at 30. So I'm going to just actually box this, and I'm going to label it 30. And I'm going to go ahead and do another set like that. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. This is 30. Well, I'm going to go over here where I have some room. 30 plus 30 equals 60. Well, there's my 60 cookies. So you see all that work I did? So I have, each of these threes is a bag. So I'm going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. If I do 20 bags, then each bag needs to have 3 cookies in it to share all 60 cookies. So these are just some options of ways that you could bag the 60 cookies. So number 7, last one. Write to Cookie Monster and tell him how to bag the cookies so that he can make the most money from the bake sale. Ooh, if I want to make the most amount of money, I want to make the most amount of bags. Well, what could be the way he makes the most amount of money? Some of you might say, 1 cookie in a bag, and then sell each of them for $2 because that's what he said. But we have to follow the rule here. There has to be more than 1 cookie in a bag. So what if I put only 2 cookies in a bag? How many bags would I make if I was putting 2? I'm going to skip count by 2 because I do know how to do that. So I'm going to just start writing 2, and I'm going to stop when I get to 60 because that's how many he made. I'm going to say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60. So I'm going to count all these 2s. Each of these 2s represents a bag of cookies. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I can make 30 bags if I put 2 cookies in each bag. So that he can make the most money from the bake sale. Write to Cookie Monster and tell him how to bag the cookies. He wants to put 2 cookies per bag. And that will make his 30 bags. All right? So that's how you solve the math task from this week. You'll have another math task next week, and that math task is going to be practicing area and perimeter. All right, I hope you guys had a great week. I'll see you next week.